Good morning, everybody. It is day 12 of 55 of my high-intensity training and carb cycling program. It is a nice, muggy, humid morning. As of this morning, I'm 230 pounds, which is actually up from last Thursday. But I also think it's because I had a little bit more fluid last night and a lot more sodium with my food. Now, today is a medium carb day, which is also a training day. I'm training chest, back, and shoulders tonight. And yesterday was a low carb day, and my weight yesterday was 229 after a medium carb day. And then today it's 230 after a low carb day, which normally isn't the way that it works. It's normally after a low carb day, my weight will be down, but I drank a lot of extra fluid last night because I was excessively thirsty. So I think my body just kind of held onto that water a little bit more than what it normally does. You already know it. Remember y'all's water. Get your water in. So Wednesday night, whenever I was training, I said in my previous video, when I got to my 21st rep on the hack squats, I felt pretty good. I felt a little something in my hip, but it wasn't bad. So I was like, let me get this 22. So I hit 22 with 315. And then when I hit that coming up out of the hole in that 22nd rep, I felt something in the hip area kind of like pop or roll. And it wasn't a muscle tear. I've had enough tears to know what a muscle tear feels like. So I was assuming it was maybe like a muscle sprain, or I strained it or pulled it. And then Thursday, I was a little stiff and sore in the area, but there was no bruising. And then today's Friday. I woke up this morning and it feels great. I don't have any issue in my hip, my leg, no bruising or nothing. So whatever it was, I think it might have just been like some tight muscles, because there's a lot of muscles that tie in right there in that area and that joint and everything. So I think what happened was whenever I went down, something was just tight and it rolled on top of itself, or something just kind of like popped and released or whatever. Anyways, it feels like I'm going to be okay. So I'm not really going to stress about that. When it comes down to it, like, nobody wants to get hurt or injured, man. It sucks having injuries and it sucks getting hurt, especially when you're finally seeing real progress and you're breaking through plateaus and you're pushing forward and you're enjoying your training and you're having fun. And then something so stupid happens where it's like something pops or tears or something gets impingement, and then there's just an issue afterwards. And that's why it's so important for me to stay on top of my hydration and my mobility work. And especially when things start getting tight, to recognize whenever things are kind of starting to get a little out of line. So that's why I do a lot of stretching, I do a lot of yoga, and I try to do deep tissue work to prevent anything like that from happening. But also, on the other side of things, the majority of the time that I've ever actually had serious injuries, it was always without warning. There was no telltale sign. It's whenever you feel at your absolute strongest and your healthiest, normally that's whenever something catastrophic is going to happen anyways. But the more you can stay on top of those things, the less likely you are to have an incident like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like if you're feeling healthy and strong, you're on the verge of getting an injury. I'm not saying that at all. But in my personal experience, anytime I've ever actually had a injury or a muscle tear, it's normally whenever I felt at my healthiest and at my strongest. And that's because I was capable of pushing myself extremely hard because how healthy I felt and how strong I was becoming. And that's what led to injuries for myself personally. But who knows, maybe one day I might wake up and finally decide I've had enough of achy joints and always on the verge of tearing something, and I'm done with it. But until that day comes, I'm gonna keep drinking my coffee, getting hyped up on caffeine, and getting in the gym and pushing myself. That was a really good workout tonight. I increased weight on every single lift, which is always a good feeling. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying the high intensity training, the progression that I'm making in the gym, and the overall results. I am getting fluffy. I am losing a lot of my definition, and I noticed that like I'm getting kind of soft in a lot of areas, but that's part of the process of bulking, because I know that a lot of it is water weight, and then a lot of it's going to come off quickly when I start my cut in January. But in order to build up muscle mass, you got to be in a surplus. And the way that I'm going about it, I think is pretty smart, because I'm only gaining about maybe half a pound to a pound a week now. My weight gain has slowed down. In the beginning, I was gaining about 2 to 3 pounds a week, but now it's slowed way down to about like half a pound, if that. So now I'm going to continue this for the rest of the year and just enjoy the ride as far as it goes for getting bigger and stronger, because it's just something about putting strength on. It's just a good feeling. But I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.